Hi there. Welcome back to Very Good Yoga with Billy. My name's Billy, and for today's class, let's get started in a comfortable seat in Virasana. And of course, if this is not a comfortable seat, sitting on a block or two the long way in between your shins, just take any sort of cross-legged seat to start your class. Close your eyes and place your hands in your lap. So the palms will be down if you're looking to create more of a grounding sensation in this first posture of class. To receive energy, turn your palms up. And if you're a little bit of both or you're not quite sure, just mix your grip with one palm up and one palm down. And as you begin to make your way into your body, start to establish this connection with the floor by pressing the shins and the tops of the feet down to the ground. Could you press down into your sits bones and then lift up through the belly, the ribs, the neck, and the tips of the ears? And just when you think you set up as tall as you can, sit up a little bit more somehow. Bring your hands to a prayer position at your heart. Start to flutter your eyes open and interlace your palms and stretch them forwards and up. So eventually the biceps are going to meet up and alongside the ears. Lift up higher through the thumb side edge of your hand so you get a little bit more external rotation out of your shoulders. Keep the interlace. Inhale to lengthen. And then continue to keep the interlace and twist to the right. So this is like a really honest twist, I think. You don't have that luxury of using your hands. You just got to use your belly, your ribs, and your chest to turn to the right side of the room. One more inhale. Now open your twist to the right as you exhale. Place the back of the left hand outside of the right leg so the palm is open, and reach the right arm back into space and keep it lifted about shoulder height. If it's appropriate, could the left eyeball find the right thumb? And while we're here, I would like to do 50 rounds of a Kapalabhati breath. If you're not familiar with that one, it's like just these short little bursts of inhales and exhales and look and sound a little bit like this. It's almost like, this might be a weird cue, it's almost like there's a bug on the tip of your lip and you're trying to blow it off. I know, scary, right? That's gross, a bug on the tip of the lip. Take a full breath in. Open up the mouth, exhale, clear it away. Inhale halfway. And begin. Last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause, hold on empty. Inhale the right arm up, bicep alongside your ear. And as you exhale, turn your chest to the right, to the front, cross the right elbow over the left elbow and come into eagle arms. I meant to say front there, my bad, you guys. And go for the back bend in your eagle arms. Lift the elbows up into the ceiling. And once you've got your elbows up as high as they can go, press the palms forward. Your gaze goes slightly skywards. And you're still pressing your feet and shins down into the floor. So every time you go up a little bit more, go down a little bit more. Full breath in. And as you exhale, let go of the eagle arms, and maybe you shake out your shoulders here a little bit. Second side, bring your hands to a prayer position at the heart. When you interlace the fingers, interlace the opposite way, so it should feel a little funky. Stretch your palms forward, stretch your palms up so the biceps are alongside the ears. Could you lift more through the thumb side edge of your hand? And again, hopefully you feel that little extra bit of external rotation in the shoulders when you do that. Inhale, get taller. And then keep the interlace and twist to the left. So the right rib cage turns to the left side of the room, and the left rib cage is turning towards the right side of the room. One more inhale, and then open your twist on the exhale. Again, this is an assisted open twist. So the back of the right hand finds the outside of the left thigh, and the left arm is still lifted. Maybe the right eyeball finds the left thumb, if that's okay, on the neck. 50 more rounds of a Kapalabhati breath here. Take a full breath in. Open up the mouth, exhale, clear it away. Inhale halfway, and begin. Last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause, hold on empty. Inhale the left arm up, bicep by the ear. Exhale, turn forward, cross the left elbow on top of the right elbow, and come up into your eagle arms. Go for the back bend here. Lift your elbows up. And once you've gotten your elbows up as high as they will go, press your palms forward. So again, there should be some cow pose happening in your spine. If it's okay on the neck, look up. Keep pressing your feet down into the floor to get a little bit more lift with the arms. Inhale. Exhale, let go of whatever you're working with. And let's come into a downward facing dog. Place your blocks somewhere near the top of the mat. As you tuck your toes, lift your hips up high. Of course, with this first downward facing dog, do what you got to do here. But once you've settled into your dog, look forward and shift forward into a plank pose. So starting by measuring out the feet and the hands. And when you do that transition, not really too much to change, if anything at all. Press into the palms, lift the upper back into the ceiling. And can you keep that sensation of the upper back going skywards as you shift your hips back into your downward facing dog? And let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, look forward, shift forward into a plank pose. Downward facing dog, the hips go high. Once more, inhale, plank pose. Downward facing dog, take a full breath in. On empty, look forward, bend into the knees, hop, spring, maybe heel toe, but make your way to a forward fold at the very top of the mat. Inhale, flat back, please. Exhale to fold. Press your feet down on your next inhale. Come up to stand, reach the arms up. And then can you stay this tall as you come into a Tadasana with the arms by your sides? Turn your palms forward as you inhale. Reach the arms up into the ceiling. Keep that lift as you exhale, bow forward. Inhale, flat back. And then for the first one, on your exhale, step into your plank pose. Inhale, plank, biceps forward, triceps are back. Chaturanga is the out breath, lower halfway. Inhale, find your back bend, upward facing dog. Toenails pressed down, gaze is forwards. And then use your belly and come up into your downward facing dog and take 5 rounds of breath. And of course, folks, with these vinyasas, chaturangas, up dogs, if you ever need to modify, do your thing. So you're pressing away with the hands into the floor. And as you do that, I want you to imagine that something or someone is pulling your hips up and back to where the wall meets the ceiling behind you. Keep lifting the hips up high as you inhale. On empty, look forward, bend into the knees, hop, spring, or step to a forward fold at the top of your mat. And right away, inhale to a flat back. Exhale to your fold. Inhale, come up to stand, Urdhva Hastasana. And then stay as tall as you are right now. Tadasana with the arms by your sides. Turn your palms forward. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Biceps are back, triceps are forwards. Lift the belly away from your hip bones as you exhale, swan dive into your fold. Keep your hands on the floor. Inhale, halfway lift. Prepares you for Chaturanga this time. Keep looking forward with your eyes in your chest as you hop or step lower halfway. Inhale as your back bend. Can you still roll the biceps forward, triceps back? Downward facing dog. Send your hips up high. So even here, biceps are forward, triceps are back. I think like an externally rotated shoulder position, frankly, it's just a stronger position. And you think about this in your dog, you think about this in your arm balances, your chaturangas, your inversions, like it's all connected, right? Inhale, downward facing dog. Continue to imagine someone's pulling your hips up and back as you bend into the knees. Look forward, hop, spring, or step to a forward fold at the top of the mat. So right away, you have to inhale, flat back. Exhale is fold. Inhale, come up to stand. Reach the arms up high. And then can you stay this tall as you come into a Tadasana with the arms by your sides? Last round, inhale the arms up. Forward fold is the out breath. Inhale, long spine, including your neck. And then keep looking forward as you hop or jump, Chaturanga lower. Inhale, find your back bend. Thighs are lifting, heart is forwards. Downward facing dog. I was trying to say Uttanasana back there, but I kept trying to say Utkatasana, which if you know is chair pose. In case you were wondering what that stutter step was. Sanskrit's really hard sometimes, you guys. Inhale, downward facing dog. On empty, look forward, bend into the knees, hop, step, or flat to a forward fold at the top of the mat. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Utkatasana, chair pose. There it is. Bend into the knees, lift the heart and the chest up. Look forwards. Bring your hands to prayer at the heart. Come up to stand. And meet me in a Tadasana with the arms by the sides. So we'll do one round of the Surya B to continue to get us moving. Sweep the floor with the fingertips as you inhale, chair pose. Belly to thighs, hands to floor, forward fold is the out breath. Inhale, flat back. And as you exhale, Chaturanga lower. Inhale your back bend, upward face. And on your exhale, downward facing dog. One breath, one movement. Lift the right leg up into a three-legged dog. Inhale. Knee in between the elbows. Exhale. Step your right foot forward to your right thumb and come up into your warrior one. Reach the arms up. And on the out breath, Chaturanga, lower halfway. Inhale as your back bend. Upward facing dog. And as you exhale, send it back into your downward facing dog. Left leg high, three-legged dog is the in-breath. Knee in between the elbows, step your left foot forward, warrior one. Inhale, come up to stand. And as you exhale, take it down into your push-up. So when you can't exhale anymore, inhale to your back bend, upward facing dog. And as you exhale, downward facing dog. Breathing here for 5, 4, 3, for 2. Inhale, downward facing. On empty, look forward, bend into the knees. Hop, spring, or step to a forward fold at the top of the mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale is fold. Inhale, chair pose. Bend into the knees. Lift the heart and chest up. Look forward. Bring your hands to prayer at the heart. Come up to stand. And meet me in a Tadasana with the arms by the sides. Last one. Inhale, chair pose. Sweep the floor with your fingers. Belly to thighs, hands to floor. Forward fold is the exhale. Inhale, long spine. On the out breath, chaturanga, lower halfway. Inhale your back bend, upward facing dog. And as you exhale, send up and back into your downward facing dog. Bring your feet a little closer together and lift the right leg up into a three-legged dog. Flex with the right foot, turn out the toes, bend the knee and open up your hip. And even though, the main action is bending into the right knee, think about what you're doing with your left leg. Roll the inner left thigh forward and hug the left hip in. Maybe you can reach the right knee up a little bit more as you inhale. Knee in between the elbows, hold the pose, exhale. So the gaze will go out in front of you, so the neck can stay long. Can you flex through the right foot? And try to drive it forward beyond the elbows. For 5, 4, press into the palms more, 3. For 2, step your right foot forward and ground the back left heel down on 1. So we're going to make our way up into a warrior 1. But before we come up, bring your hands out wide to 10 and 2. So it'll be a little bit in front of the front foot. Bend into your front knee more, but then hug the outer right hip back. Warrior 1, on your next inhale, come up to stand. So continue to establish your legs now that you're upright in warrior 1. Bend into the front knee more and go down with your hips and your thighs. Reach your arms out left and right to a T with your palms facing up so you have full external rotation at the shoulders. Cross your left elbow underneath your right. And please come back into eagle arms. Lift your elbows up as high as they will go. And press the palms forward away from the face so you're trying to go for the back bend of the upper body. Don't forget about your legs. Bend into the front knee more. Next 5, 4, 3, for 2. Chaturanga on 1. Lower on the out breath. Inhale, find your back bend, upward facing dog. And as you exhale, downward facing dog. Second side, bring your feet closer together as you lift the left leg up into a three-legged dog. Flex through the foot, turn out the toes. Inhale, bend the knee and open up your hip. So remember, this is going to be all about what you're doing with the right leg. Roll the inner right thigh forward. Hug the right hip in more. Hug the right hip in more than you think you should. Lift the left knee up higher. Inhale. Knee in between the elbows as the exhale. Hold the pose. So the gaze is out in front of you, down over the tip of the nose. You're flexing to the left foot, and you're trying to get the left knee further beyond the biceps. Straight the right leg more. Last 5, 4, 3, for 2. Step your left foot forward on 1 and ground down to the back right heel. Bring your hands out wide to 10 and 2 and bend deep in the front left knee. I didn't mention this before. Frankly, I don't care how wide your feet are for this warrior 1. I would prefer if you found the width that's just feels right on your body. And then on an inhale, warrior 1. So you could go heel to heel. You could go at a tightrope if you really wanted to. For me, I'm going a little bit wider with my feet, one fist. Reach your arms out left and right with the palms facing up. Cross the right elbow underneath the left And please come back into your eagle arms. Bend more into the front knee. And leading with your elbows, lift the arms up into the air and then press your palms forwards for 5, 4, 3, or 2. Chaturanga on 1, lower halfway. Inhale, come up into your back bend, upward facing. And as you exhale, please come back into your downward facing dog. Walk your hands to a forward fold at the back of the mat, and let's take a break here. Whew. Bring your feet 2 fist width distance apart. And then take your 2 peace fingers and toe lock your big toaster yoga toe lock. Press your thumbs down on the mat. And before we go any further, externally rotate your arms. So that's that sensation of the biceps forward and the triceps back. And again, hopefully when you do that, you start to feel your lats engage. Keep doing all of those things as you inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold, bend your elbows. So now your gaze is somewhere at the back of your room. The shoulders are drawing away from the ears, but the ears are going down to the floor. For 3, for 2, unlock your big toes on 1 and inhale to a flat back. Padahastasana, slide your hands underneath your feet. So you're trying to get the toe tips all the way up and maybe even beyond your wrist creases. And if this spoke to you, like if you really enjoyed this on the last pose, can you find the external rotation of the arms and begin to bend into the elbows? If there's another expression or something else you'd like to do here and that arm thing didn't speak to you, like don't worry about it. We'll just be here for another 3, for 2. Take your hands out from underneath your feet on 1 and inhale, flat back. Hands on your hips, squeeze your elbows together and come up to stand. Okay. Make your way to a Tadasana at the front of the mat, please. I'm going to ask that you keep your right foot on the floor and set up for an Utthita A. So I'll have you bring the left shin into the left hand. And if you have the foot, you might take the foot. If you have a strap, you could take the strapped up variation. Today, I want to modify this for myself personally, just because if I grab onto the foot, it looks like that, right? And you can see how far forward I'm going. So as you set up for this shape, like I said, try to avoid that forward folding kind of sensation and stand up straight. Lift the ears up into the ceiling. Maybe you add on and reach the right arm up into the ceiling. Utthita B. Reach your right arm out to the side. And open up your left hip within reason. So you're trying to keep your 2 frontal hip bones pointing forwards. And if you go too far, that's when the hips start to go into a more left direction. And maybe this is where you stay. If you want a little bit more, could you bring the left eyeball to the right thumb? Keep pressing down into the middle of the right foot. Reach your outer right hip towards your inner right heel. Eventually make your way back up through center, Utthita A. Reach the left arm up, straighten the left leg in front of you. Inhale, get taller. And then on your exhale, pendulum left leg down, pendulum left leg back, and come into a Virabhadrasana 3. Whoa! I'm going to modify this one for a second, you guys. If you've been following along with me during the last year or so of this pandemic, then you know my right toe is broken. So like standing postures for me just haven't really come back yet. Or one-legged standing postures, I should say. Needs a little bit of work. Press your right foot down to lift the standing thigh bone up. Inhale to lengthen. Warrior one, step the left foot back. Reach the arms up into the ceiling. Take a full breath in. And as you exhale, open to warrior two, but right away, straighten out the front right leg. Turn all 10 of your toes to point towards the long edge of your mat. And measure out your feet. Make sure they're right underneath your hands and your wrists. Place your hands on your hips and begin to squeeze the elbows together, almost like you were in camel pose. Lift the heart and the chest up into the ceiling. Let's inhale. Try to keep the back bend for as long as you can. As you exhale, hinge at your hips and bow forwards. And at some point, like, your back is going to round when you fold. But you want to try to keep the back bend for as long as you can and eventually bring your hands down to the ground. So the heels of the hands line up with the heels of the feet. And you're bending into your elbows, just like you would do in a chaturanga. Listen carefully. Inhale to a flat back. And as you exhale, walk your hands to the top of the mat and step into a plank pose. Take a full breath in. Chaturanga is the out breath, lower halfway and hold. Hover your right foot an inch or two off the floor. So you're in a three-legged chaturanga, and I'll have you press up into a three-legged plank. Twist your right knee to your left elbow. Keep the right leg lifted, ground down to the inner edge of the left foot, and reach the left arm up into the ceiling. So we're coming to a variation of fallen triangle pose. And if you would like, straighten the right leg out to the side and keep it hovering off the floor. 5, 4, 3, for 2, left hand down, three-legged dog, lift the right leg up and back. Lock your hands to a standing split at the back of your mat. So the belly will connect with the left thigh, or at least I hope it does. I'm bending my knee more than I should because I have a wall behind me. But if you have a wall behind you, what I would recommend is you walk your foot up the wall. Either way, press your left foot into the floor. And remember what we did in three-legged dog. Roll the inner left thigh forward and hug the left hip in more than you think you should. Inhale. Forward fold. Both feet are down on the exhale. Inhale, flat back. And as you exhale, make your way back to downward facing dog. Whether you plank, Vinyasa, or you just skip those things. And we'll take 5 rounds of breath here. Maybe if you're not doing this already, start to grip your yoga mat with your fingertips. Inhale. On empty, look forward. Imagine someone's pulling you back by your hips as you hop, spring, or step to a forward fold at the top of your mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up to stand. Reach the arms up. And then stay as tall as you are right now as you come into Tadasana. Maybe even get taller as you reach your fingers to the floor. Okay. Keep your left foot on the ground, please. And start to set up for Utthita A. So the right hand will find your shin, your thigh, your foot, depending on what you did on the first side. And I forgot to mention this on the last side. With your right hand, notice how much you're like holding on for the foot. Maybe get light to your grip. Maybe even just play with like letting go for a second so you can feel just how much work the right hip is or maybe isn't doing. Reach the left arm up if you're not there already. And let's make our way into Utthita B. Reach the left arm out to the side and open up your right hip. But again, remember to go within reason with this right leg. The emphasis is your two hip bones pointing straight ahead. Maybe you stay here. Maybe the right eyeball finds the left thumb. Left foot presses down. Outer left hip is reaching towards your inner left heel. Come back through center, Utthita A. Keep the right leg lifted. Reach both arms up. Straighten the right leg out in front of you. Inhale to get taller. Right leg stays lifted on your exhale. Pendulum mid down, pendulum mid back. Virabhadrasana 3, Warrior 3. Hug the outer left hip in. The inner left thigh rolls forward. The inner right thigh is rolling up. And what if I asked you to get your shoulders higher than your hips? Full breath in. Warrior 1 is the out breath. Step the right foot to the back of the mat. Reach both arms into the ceiling. Inhale. Warrior 2, open up to face the long edge of your mat. And right away, straighten out that poor left leg and set up for straddle pose. So your hands and wrists are right over the feet. So it's like a pretty long stance. And what I'm going to have you do, just like before, put your hands on your hips. Squeeze the elbows together and lift your heart up into the ceiling, almost like someone is pulling it by a diagonal, by a string. One more inhale. Keep the back bend for as long as you can. This is a slow transition, but eventually fold and put your hands on the ground. And like I said before, like when you fold, at some point, this natural lumbar curve will just start to round. But you still continue to find that sensation of lifting out of the belly, reaching the ears to the floor, but lifting the shoulders away from the ears. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, plank pose. Step your left foot next to the right foot. Take a full breath in plank. And as you exhale, lower halfway, chaturanga, and hold. Hover the left foot an inch or two off the floor. Three-legged chaturanga. Press up to three-legged plank. Twist, left knee, right elbow. Ground down to the inner edge of the right foot for this floating leg variation of fallen triangle pose. And if you want a modification, I think it's easier with the knee bent, or you could even take a supported side plank if you want to. For 5, 4, 3, for 2, three-legged dog. Put your right hand down and lift the left leg up and back. Walk your hands to a standing split at the back of the mat. Try to get your belly on your right leg. Hug the outer right hip in and roll the inner right thigh forward. Keep the head and neck heavy. Find that point with your eyes at the back of the room. One more breath. Forward fold. Step both feet down on the ground. Inhale, flat back. And as you exhale, plank. Chaturanga. Vinyasa. We'll meet back in downward facing dog. And then let's lower the knees. And let's take a child's pose here. So knees are either together or hips width distance apart. I really want you to rest some part of the ribs on the thighs so that you can feel the rounding in your lower back. course. If there's anywhere else you want to be, like, be where you need to be. But whatever pose that it is that you choose, make sure it's something that you would consider grounding. And I say it like that because these poses are so different for everybody, and what might be grounding for me or someone else might be like totally different than your definition. Come back into your breath. And see if you can find something a little bit more smooth and controlled in and out of your nose. Sit up on your heels. So we're going to come into this variation of Virasana to start. And what I'll have you do here is bring your hands to a prayer position at your heart. Stand up on your shins as if you were about to come into camel pose. And then take a big step forward with the right foot, like a pretty generous step forward with that front right foot. And what I want you to feel right out the gate is your hips going down and forwards, but your right heel trying to drag towards the back left knee. Interlace your palms, and then go ahead and stretch your palms forward and up. So we're going to try to actually find a bit of a back bend here. And I think people have this idea that when you back bend, the default is to go back. The default is to go up. And if you go back, that's just gravy. That's just extra. Like at some point, you're going to go up as high as you can, and the only way you're going to have to go is back. But even when you start to notice yourself going back, keep lifting up through the thumb side edge of your hand, straight up into the air. Last 5, 4, 3, for 2. Slowly, runner's lunge on 1. Bring your hands out to 10 and 2. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee. Wrap your left leg over your right leg for eagle legs. Wrap the left elbow underneath the right elbow for your eagle arms. Like, of course we're going to do eagle today. We've done so many other eagle things. Reach your left knee to the right. And then reach your right knee to the left. Sit your butt down a little bit more. And then, oh my God, did you forget the arms? Lift the elbows up high. Press your palms forward. Inhale. Keep your eagle arms and send the left leg back to warrior 3 as you exhale. For me, I think this is a little easier than warrior 3. And again, that's me and my body, right? I think it's probably because there's more of you, like more centered to gravity. And it's easier to go forward with the arms, I think. Turn the left toes down to the floor. And roll the inner right thigh to the front of the room. One more breath. Warrior 1. Step the left foot back. Reach the arms up into the ceiling. Inhale. Runner's lunge to 3-legged dog is the exhale. Lift the right leg up into the air. Start to bend into the left knee. And what I want you to do is start to find these pulses with the left leg. And so it's like, I wouldn't say this is like a traditional yoga thing. You're just getting bouncy in your 3-legged dog. Keep the right leg as straight as you can as you inhale. On empty, look forward, bend into the left knee, and try to hop your left foot to your left thumb so you're coming into a standing split at the top of the mat. Staying bouncy, landing with the bent left knee, hop back, 3-legged dog, inhale. On empty, look forward, bend the left knee, and try to hop your left foot to your left thumb for a standing split. If you don't get to the top of the mat, just do your best. Last one. Landing with the bent left knee. 3-legged dog, inhale. On empty, look forward. Hop your left foot to your left thumb, standing split. Into a forward fold. Whew. Inhale, flat back. And as you exhale, chaturanga, vinyasa, downward facing dog. Lower your knees. And just sit on your heels to start. Bring your hands to a prayer position at your heart and look forward. Stand up on your shins as if you were about to take camel. And then take a massive step forward with the left foot. So you're really trying to put the lunge in your lunge. Down and forward with your hips. Down and back with the left heel towards the right knee. When you interlace your hands, do the opposite way as you stretch your palms forward and up. Emphasis on the up. So you're trying to go down and up the same amount. Keep lifting up through the thumb side edge of your hands. Maybe your gaze walks up the front wall as well. And just when you think you've gotten as high as you can with the hands, reach up a little bit more. Press your feet into the ground. For 5, 4, 3, for 2, runner's lunge on 1. Frame the front left foot, tuck the back toes, lift the back right knee. For just a moment, bring your hands out wide to 10 and 2. Right leg over the left, eagle legs. Right arm underneath the left arm for your full expression, Garudasana. Then deep into your standing leg. Sink your hips low, but lift your eagle arms up. So again, going up and down the same amount. Reach your left knee over to the right, your right knee over to the left, so you're squeezing the inner thighs together. We'll take a few more rounds here. So look forward and soften your face, your jaw, your eyes, your breath. Inhale. Keep the arms, but reach the right leg back into your warrior 3 on the exhale. Eagle arms, reach forward. Right heel presses back. Inner left thigh rolls forward. Inner right thigh is rolling up. So it's a lot of the same cues we've been using all day. You know, something I've been hearing a lot of teachers say lately, and I totally agree with this, is there's not that many poses in yoga. You know, it's kind of the same shape in one way or another, kind of reconfigured. This is standing split legs. This is 3-legged dog legs. I would even go as far as saying this is almost Tadasana legs. Inhale. Warrior 1 is the exhale. Step the right foot back. Reach the arms up high. Full breath in. Runner's lunge to a 3-legged dog. Lift the left leg up and back. All right, you know it's about to go down. Bend into the right knee and start to find that bounciness in your 3-legged dog. Keep the left leg straight. Inhale. On empty, look forward. Bend into the right knee and try and hop your right foot to your right thumb for a standing split. Landing with the bent right knee, hop it back, 3-legged dog. Inhale. On empty, look forward, bend the right knee, try to hop your right foot to right thumb, standing split. And then landing with the bent right knee, hop back to a 3-legged dog. Inhale. On empty, look forward, bend the right knee, hop your right foot to right thumb, standing split. Into a forward fold. Hoo, hoo, hoo. Inhale, flat back. As you exhale, plank, chaturanga, vinyasa, downward facing dog. All right. Let's lower the knees and stand up on your shins. So we're gonna make our way into a camel pose, and for today what I'll have you do is place your hands on your lower back. And ideally you want the fingertips pointing up, but if that's not working for your wrist, the fingers will point down. Press the feet into the floor the same amount as you reach the ears up into the ceiling. Start to squeeze the elbows together to puff the chest out and up. Maybe your eyes walk up the front wall. Maybe they even find the ceiling above you. And as you start to notice yourself going back in this camel shape, go up a little bit more. Press your feet down again, and then continue to go. So it's almost like it's like a stop and go. Like you go back a little bit, you come out, you go up, and then see if you can go further a little bit more. To come out of this, leading with your chest forward, inhale, start to send your butt back, sit down on your heels, close your eyes, and lower your chin to your chest. Okay. So we're going to come into a dolphin pose. And in a few moments, I'm going to give you folks like an opportunity to set up for inversions. So if you want to play with getting upside down, I'd recommend moving to a wall. You don't have to take your mat with you if you don't want to, just because we're going to come back here soon. Dolphin pose. Lower your forearms, tuck your toes, and lift your hips up and back. And folks, you could stay right here if you'd like. But if you do want a little bit more, lift the right leg up into a three-legged dolphin. Roll the inner left thigh forward. Hug the outer left hip in. And if you would like to take 3 to 5 hops up into a pincha mayurasana, option to get invert. And when you're over it, lower your knees back to the floor. I was doing that and I was like doing the yoga teacher thing in my head, like how can I cue this? But I was just like, oh, I can't cue, breathe, and do the pose at the same time. That's why I got kind of quiet. I'll probably get quiet in the next one too. Stand up on your shins, please. It's really hard to talk in demo yoga sometimes, you guys. Place your hands on the lower back. And begin to create that down and up sensation as you set up for camel. Press the feet into the floor and go up with the ears. And then as you start to feel that backwards motion, pause, see if you can go up a little bit higher and see if that will bring you back a little bit further. Remember, up is the default. And back is just gravy. And if you'd like a little bit more, maybe your hands walk down your butt, your hammies. If they're available to you, you could even grab your heels. But if at any moment this hurts, this bothers, or crunches your lower back, or you think it does more harm than good, do less. Like for sure do less if this hurts. Leading with your chest to come out of this. Inhale, hinge at your hips, send your butt back, sit down on your heels, close your eyes, and lower your chin to your chest. Flutter your eyes open. And unless you did something else on the first side, lower your forearms, tuck your toes, dolphin pose, lift your hips up and back. If you're interested in a three-legged dolphin, lift the left leg up into the air. Inner right thigh rolls forward. Inner left thigh goes skyward. Keep the left leg as straight as you can. Full breath in, look forward. Bend into the right knee. Maybe get a little bouncy here as you kick up. Eventually lower your knees. Take a child's pose. Whatever you did do, whatever you didn't do. Your hips are to your heels, your forehead's on the mat. And guys, I'd say we did like a pretty good amount of shoulder stuff today. If you want to take embryo pose, you can always reach your arms back and grab your heels. But again, just like the last child's pose, find something that is supportive. Okay. Stand up on your shins. Sit off to the side. Extend the legs out in front of you. And let's actually set up for a double pigeon here. Bring the right shin on top of the left shin, please. And if you would like if you need a modification, cross the right shin in front of the left shin. So I'll turn to face you so you can actually see what I'm doing with my legs if you need it. So you're either in this double pigeon shape or you're going to be in this cross-legged fold shape. Walk your hands forward. And we'll take a minute here. And keep doing all the things we've been doing all day. Lift out of the belly. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. Reach the ears forward. We'll just take 5 more easy rounds of breath here, in and out of the nose. Inhale your flat back. And as you exhale, come up into your seat. Straighten the legs out in front of you. Shake them out if you'd like to. And then set up for the second side. Bring the left shin on top of the right shin. And if you modified before, if you did something different, do whatever it is you did differently here. But with the long spine, with the weight pressing down into the middle of your seat, walk your hands forward and fold. So I think it's important that when we go into these poses, we set them up from the start. It's this idea of core to extremity movement where it starts here and it ends up out on the floor and your hands and your fingertips and your arms. So your tailbone reaches back, your heart and chest go forward. Maybe your eyes close, maybe your head and neck gets just a little bit more heavy. Two more breaths. Inhale, flat back. And as you exhale, come up into your seat. Straighten the legs out in front of you. Shake the backs of the thighs out onto the floor. And then let's do this. Bring the soles of the feet together and the knees out wide for Baddha Konasana in your legs. And I wouldn't say we've really done really not that much hip opening today, right? If you want more, bring your heels closer to your groin. But if you want less, maybe bring the heels away from the body, away from that initial starting position. And then again, with the long spine, start to fold. So maybe you can rest the calves on your, maybe you can rest the elbows on your calves. Maybe start to open up your feet almost like you would a book. Press the back body forward into the front body and continue to create that extension with the torso. Inhale, flat back. As you exhale, upright your seat. Grab a block. And lie down on the floor, please. And just make sure that the block is somewhere within like reaching distance when you make your way onto your back. So I'm gonna have you hug the left knee into the belly, and I'm gonna have you keep the right leg straight out in front of you. Scoot your hips a few inches over to the left. Cross the body with the left leg and come into a supported twist. So the block will be underneath the left calf, left shin. The right hand will rest on top of the left thigh, if that's okay. And your gaze goes over the left arm in the opposite direction. And if this twist doesn't work for you, as always, find one that does. Eventually make your way back through center. Place the block on the opposite side of the mat. Bring the left knee into the right knee into the belly, the left leg out in front of you. Scoot your hips a few inches over to the right, and then come into a supported twist to the left. So the right leg crosses the body. I forgot to mention this in the last side, but it's important that you keep both your shoulders anchored. And if it's okay on the neck, your gaze goes over the right hand. Slowly begin to make your way back through center. We'll finish with a happy baby, grabbing onto the feet, maybe the shins. And I'm not too interested and concerned like whether you're making this a dynamic or a fairly still happy baby. Press your tailbone and lower back into the floor. And then relax your shoulders down. So you're emphasizing keeping the spine on the ground and on the floor. And if you are doing something dynamic, maybe you think about creating that rock from your sacrum, your lower back and tailbone. And eventually meet me in Shavasana. Of course, if you need props, maybe put something underneath your knees. Grab a blanket to cover the eyes. Or a blanket to cover the body for that matter. Settling down into your stillness. Take one more full belly breath, fill up. And then open up the mouth, exhale, clear it away. No more work. No more effort. Shavasana. Deepen the breath. Start to invite some smaller movements back into your body. Wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes, the hands, and eventually your feet. Take your time as you slowly bend into your knees, step your feet onto the floor. Gently hug your knees into the belly, into the chest. And however you'd like, with your eyes closed, please make your way up into a comfortable seat, facing your monitors. To seal in your practice, please bring your hands to a prayer position at your heart. Guiding the thumb knuckles up and into the sternum. Invite a full breath in. Open up the mouth, exhale, let it go. Thumb knuckles to forehead, third eye center. Thank you for sharing your practices with me today. Go in peace. Namaste. Thank you, yogis. That is it for me for today. Thank you so much for practicing with me. If you guys have questions, if you have comments, if you have feedback, let me know in the comments section below. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. And that's it for me for today, you guys. I hope you guys had fun, and I hope to see you soon. Thank you.